king of flavor, MSG Thuy.
Pulling it out of his pants. God damn. Holy shit. Okay, listen, that's a lot of pho broth they're working, but that is way too much MSG. Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef, and today I'm going to be reacting to Uncle Roger Make Pho 6 million subscribers special. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a big shout out to my latest sous chef level patron, Pratik Patel. Thank you so much for your support. You, and along with all the awesome sous chef level patrons, help make this channel happen with your contribution. And if you've been enjoying this show and want to support further, please consider becoming a patron by visiting the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, you can take advantage of some awesome perks. Don't want to become a patron but still want to help out? Well, I greatly appreciate it if you followed me on Instagram at Chef Brian Tsao. And with all that out of the way, let's react to some shit.
Yo, 6 million subscribers. Thank you to all my niece and nephew. And as promised, today Uncle Roger gonna make pho. This is my good friend Auntie Thuy. She's the boss of my favorite Vietnamese restaurant in London, Little Viet Kitchen. I like your restaurant.
You do? That's good.
Yeah, but why it not open?
So we didn't open because I had a baby and he's really cute. It's really hard to get chefs.
You want your baby to come work here? Good, good.
Free labor. It's Asian thing, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
I got lucky. I started working when I was about 13 years old. My father woke me up on a Saturday morning, said, Brian, I came to this country and I started working at 13 years old washing dishes. So you are going to start working for me. Wasn't free labor though. My dad was generous to pay me $20 for a full day's work. And actually there's a whole other story of how I made an additional $20. But that'll be for another day. This is about Uncle Roger and him making pho. Congratulations on the 6 million subscribers. Much, much deserved.
Uncle Roger, I know the traditional recipe for pho, but the reason Uncle Roger here with Auntie Thuy today is because she has family secret pho recipe. Uncle Roger trying to learn. First step, we toast spices. Coriander seed, star anise, fennel, cardamom pod, cinnamon.
You did your homework.
Of course.
That's good.
I'm filming with the master clove. Stir it around until it smells fragrant.
You want it to be slightly golden.
But this is wok. When Uncle Roger see wok, I just want to do wok toss. Can I wok toss, Auntie Thuy?
No, this is a Vietnamese kitchen. Everything is calm.
This is how Uncle Gordon tossed his fried rice in Indonesia. See?
Look at Auntie Thuy like being all like, you are messing up my kitchen so bad right now. What I like about Uncle Roger and these special videos that he does where he actually cooks is he's clearly not a pro, but he's clearly done his homework and his research. But you can tell by the way he's, you know, tossing the spices in that wok that he doesn't do it every day. And that's okay. You don't have to have all your skills down. The point of this channel is just to give you a professional working chef's perspective. It doesn't mean it's the end all be all. At the end of the day, you can still make an awesome tasting dish. Well, at the end of the day, it's an awesome tasting dish.
Full of flavor.
Hey everyone, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Keeps. When I just started out in the professional culinary industry was also when I first started to notice my hair was thinning. That was almost 20 years ago, and if I knew then what I know about Keeps, I would have been all over that. Keeps is an online subscription service that gives you doctor-recommended treatments for symptoms of hair loss. Don't wait until you get to this point where it's basically all gone. You need to act on this now if you're starting to notice symptoms because, well, Keeps helps you keep the hair that you already have. Treatments are delivered straight to your door and they offer 24/7 expert support. Most Keeps customers notice results within 6 months of starting treatment. Keeps has you covered because they build a routine that works for you and it's delivered straight to your door. Hair loss stops with Keeps, and to get 50% off of your first order, visit keeps.com/chefbriansao or visit the link in the description below. That's keeps.com/chefbriansao. youtube.com/Chef Brian Sal. Let's get back to my insight on the review. And, you know, it just reminded me when Uncle Roger here says it's full of flavor. Well, by toasting the spices, and this goes for any spice for pretty much any type of cuisine. Generally, if you toast the spices, it will kind of transform those spices, make them more intense, maybe even dull down certain qualities in a really nice way. If you take something like fennel seed or cumin seed, really whole spices, and get them toasted. Before you toast them, smell it before and smell it after. Taste it before, you know, take some that's been untoasted and then taste some that has been toasted. There is a huge, immense difference, and it all happens from toasting the spices. Highly recommended. Really nice way to accentuate the flavor of the spices.
Made my ancestors cry.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I know some spice fall on floor, but that means your floor now more flavorful than all of Jamie Oliver restaurant. Emotional damage.
Shots fired.
When done, pour into plate and then put into strainer.
So, again, Uncle Roger 100% doing the right thing by toasting the spices, but again, like you could see Auntie Thuy like being like, let me help you there, you know, that bowl is way too big and you're going into another bowl that's way too small, you're making a mess. Clearly not a pro, but there's nothing wrong going on here, you know, other than like, I guess let's keep watching, because I'm pretty sure he's putting it into that container to grind the spices. What I would have done is probably set the bowl down and then brought the, you know, like by setting the bowl or the container that's going to grind the spices down on the counter. And I've noticed he's done this in some other videos. Again, just a sign of inexperience. Don't have to be, you know, doing pro level techniques or anything like that. But anyway, I would have set that down, and then by setting it down, it's more stable. And then I bring the bowl to that and kind of use my hand to help it along. I think that would have been the better way to go about it.
Western chefs sometimes forget to do this, and it's actually easier when you do this. So when you take it out, you don't have to strain the whole pot.
We take white people's shit and make it better.
Sorry. So he's actually putting it into a little little container, and those toasted spices are going to be, I don't know why I thought he was going to ground it. Like for a second, I thought he was making curry. It's been a long few weeks and I'm extremely tired. So anyway, he's taking the spices, he's toasting them, condensing the flavor, making it more aromatic, and then putting it into this container. The name of it escapes me, but basically it's like not a cheesecloth, but for the life of I can't remember right now, but he's putting it into this container, and that is going to be the spices that are used to flavor the stock. And as Auntie Thuy mentioned, it's so that it makes it a lot easier to strain the stock later. Very smart.
That's the whole theme of Vietnamese food, correct?
You're so mean.
I'm not mean.
You're so mean to Westerners.
You know who mean? French people who take over your country. That mean?
There we go.
This is how you teabag Uncle Roger.
Oh!
Subscribe to Uncle Roger OnlyFans.
Oh!
Now we char onion and ginger. Uncle Roger never see green fire before.
That's because this cooker's broken.
Don't give a shit about safety regulation. This whole restaurant fire hazard.
He's doing it with the skin on. I would have done it skin off, unless the skin, the whole onion with the skin is going in there. But I would have peeled the skin off, toasted it, and then put it into the broth. Let's keep watching.
Authentic Vietnamese restaurant. Remember to char your ginger also. Same thing. That's why you must use gas stove. Cannot use induction stove, niece and nephew. How to do this with induction stove? You just put on the black plastic. Hiya, so not satisfying.
Pho noodles means it's made in a specific shape, so it's made for pho. It's flat rice noodles.
Next step, you soak the noodle for 30 to 45 minutes.
By hydrating the noodles, it will soften it, but will not cook it. But when you are ready to cook it, all you need to do is dunk it into hot water just for a few seconds, and it's ready.
Look at your ceiling. Why the floor on there?
We were expecting lots of Australians to come.
Yeah.
Funny, you like that?
Very
Yeah,
good.
did you get that camera?
Very good.
Yeah, I know.
Come for the first day for the joke.
I don't know, is that a mom joke? Dad joke? Don't know which one, but doesn't matter. Let's keep watching.
Fuyo, time for the meat. Look at this. I like you, Auntie Thuy. You hate vegan people also. How many cow you kill? How you make vegan fur? Is it possible?
Yes, it is.
How?
It is. Using vegetables instead of a cow. It's delicious. Vegan fur is delicious
It's
too.
so sad. Don't give them terrible
Look,
idea.
the good side is it doesn't take 8 hours to make vegan fur.
Yeah, because nobody want to make vegan food. We don't give a shit. We half-ass it. That will only take 3 hours. We have bone marrow, flank, beef brisket on bone, oxtail, shin. All these traditional fur ingredient. But this is something special. This is your family secret, correct?
LVK's
Nice
signature,
short rib.
so yes. So it's a beef short rib. It's a favourite cut of mine. So I added that on 7 years ago, and you guys loved it.
Trust me, Uncle Roger tried before. It's so good.
Good.
See? It's like the beef talking to them. Hello, hello. This is beef. Thank you for killing me. Now we have to bring all the meat, wash it, and give it massage.
Beautiful kitchen, by the way, I should mention. Good stuff, Auntie Thuy. Spotless, absolutely spotless. Love it, love it, love it. Not like Kay's kitchen.
Don't want your broth to look cloudy. Throw them all into cold water. Salt,
Professional.
squeeze the lemon. And now you want to give the meat nice massage. To give good massage, I just imagine this is Auntie Esther.
Poor Esther. Yeah, I've heard of Auntie Esther. I feel bad for her.
Why do you feel bad for her?
Well, I think you're probably parked outside her apartment and she doesn't know.
That's what people
Oh,
who are in
gosh.
love do. You buy binocular and then stand in bushes. That's how you show love.
Okay, so this step right now, they are cleaning the protein. They're using some salt. They're using some lemon juice or acid rather, and it's really to get rid of a lot of the gunk that, you know, any of the slimy, grimy stuff that may be on the protein. And really, what I believe this is for is to get like the clearest broth possible. Another way you could go about this is to do, which I have a feeling they're going to do this step too, is blanching the protein. So while yes, blanching will get rid of like the blood and the impurities that are within the protein, because by blanching you start in cold water and it's like slowly comes up to temp, and kind of the pressure of that water heating up kind of squeezes all the excess blood and stuff out of the protein. You drain it out, and then you start your broth from there. You'll still have like the gunky stuff that's like literally cooked directly onto the protein. So this is a nice attention to detail extra step, again, to give that extra added clarity into the final broth that they're gonna serve.
People nowadays, I know you're married to your husband so long now, he don't do this romantic gesture anymore. Now we go to next step of cleaning meat. This time we clean.
Really beautiful kitchen. I mean, all the bowls and plates on that rack back there are really nicely managed. I mean, completely spotless. You know, they did mention that they're not open right now, so obviously it'll be a lot easier. I don't know if this is a newly constructed or recently renovated restaurant, but wow. I mean, gorgeous. Great job.
Meat from inside using the hot water.
So you want to use the power of the water to push out all the gunk.
That's how you make clean broth.
Okay, so
It's actually a key.
Don't scare. You professional chef, you scare water. Hiya.
they are blanching with already boiling water. Not the end of the world, typically, at least in Western preparations, which, you know, this is a Vietnamese dish. It's not a Western dish per se. However, a lot of Vietnamese cooking technique borrows a lot from French technique because of the French occupation. But regardless, that's not the point. I'm just saying from my background in Western cookery, typically when you're blanching, you start with cold water so that it slowly comes up to temp, and then that extracts, again, impurities and blood, excess blood that can be found within the protein. However, they are adding a lot into there, so that's immediately gonna cool that water, and it still needs to come up to temp. But also, I mean, Auntie Thuy and Uncle Roger would know how to make this dish, quite frankly, a lot better than I would.
Go up as well.
Uncle Roger feel like I won with the
This
world.
is like a spa, isn't it? It's like a lesson with a spa.
I don't know what kind of spa you're going to. You have to handle meat and bone. Now when all the scum out, time to put the spice in.
So now push it, make sure it goes in.
They said all the scum is out. I don't know if they just, due to editing, they didn't show dumping out that water. That's what I'm gonna assume that they did. Let's go back a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure they changed the water.
With the spa.
I don't know what kind of spa you're going to. You have to handle meat and bone. Now when all the scum out,
Okay, so, I mean, I'm not sure. Blast for 5 minutes until scum surfaces. Oh, maybe they skimmed it? Maybe? Not sure. This is
yeah,
going.
I know. That one my ex-wife always tell me. Sorry, children. I push it, it always go in.
That's what you think.
Remember the char onion we have? We peel the skin and then put it in your broth
Okay,
also.
all right. So they charred it with the skin on and then peeled the skin and then put it inside. Do they peel the ginger too?
Char ginger.
Oh, char ginger. It looks like they peeled the ginger too. Interesting. Okay, maybe they didn't want as much char flavor on there. I'm not sure. I mean, for me, I would have left the skin on with the char. Same with the onion. Maybe it's a coloration thing. I'm not sure. Let's keep
So
watching.
the secret recipe for our family is the daikon.
You heard that? Our family. So this is specifically their family recipe, just like, you know, my family or my mother in particular has a very specific Korean beef bulgogi recipe that, you know, quite frankly, has brought me a lot of success and a lot of money over the years. You know, I use that recipe to defeat Bobby Flay, but, you know, her recipe is a little different from another family's recipe. And I love that this is their personal touch.
Traditional, but actually my grandma uses this so that
She even says that it's not traditional, but I like that.
believes that it clears the broth. At the same time, it's actually releasing sweetness.
I agree with releasing sweetness. Don't necessarily agree with the part of it clears the broth, but I definitely think daikon in any broth is really delicious. It just adds a certain depth, a certain oomph to it that I can't exactly explain, but it's absolutely wonderful, and there is a lot of natural sweetness.
Sometimes use a carrot to release sweetness, but then it makes the broth quite orange.
Auntie Thuy, I think you're forgetting one important spice.
What is it?
The king of flavor, MSG Thuy.
Pulling it out of his pants.
Just for this time for you?
What, you usually don't have MSG?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, interesting. I'm very used to seeing and hearing about pho broths made with at least some MSG. When I go to my good friend Eric and Alice's home, they're both Vietnamese. They typically don't, you know, make their pho's with MSG, their pho broth with MSG rather. It's very common for a restaurant serving pho to have some MSG in there. So I'm surprised to hear that Auntie Thuy doesn't put MSG in their restaurant's pho.
Everybody in Vietnam used it.
But this is, of course, Uncle Roger's channel, and if you have anything, if he does anything Asian food and doesn't put MSG, I'd be shocked.
But there's so much flavor in here already.
Flavor is like money. More always better.
God damn. Holy shit. Okay, listen, that's a lot of pho broth they're working, but that is way too much MSG. I can't imagine any restaurant serving a pho broth of that quantity with that much MSG. That is way overkill. Okay, don't actually use this much. All right, so it's purely just for a joke. Anyone who's going to have that pho broth is going to be thirsty later. Thirsty.
Oh my god. Too much pleasure.
You want some? Try.
Oh, jeez.
Looks so good.
Christ.
Next, rock sugar.
Rock sugar,
Fish
all
sauce,
right.
very important ingredient. Salt. Throw some to camera.
I don't know how much needs. I don't know. There was so much damn MSG. I don't think you need any salt in there.
Camera guy need more flavor also. Here.
Woo!
I'm locking the doors. He's so cleaning that.
There are so many moments in here where Auntie Thuy is like, oh, like, ooh, you're making a mess of my kitchen.
We wait for 5 hours. While you wait for the broth to cook, time to slice your beef. Remember, pho beef need to be very thin because we cook the beef with the heat of the broth.
Yes.
Don't be like Rachel Ray. Her beef thicker than Lizzo.
Double yes to don't be like Rachel Ray. That steak was cut, or that beef was cooked, cut way too thick. No, big no in pho.
thin sliced beef and then you do this to flatten it more. See?
Okay.
Looks so good.
Typically, the beef for pho will usually be sliced on a meat slicer and usually sliced when it's frozen or par frozen so that you can get it really, really thin. By freezing it, it solidifies it and just makes it a bit easier to slice. It's not law, you know, but that's definitely the way that I'm used to seeing it done.
Oh, Auntie Thuy got book
I know.
also. Is the pho recipe in here?
Yes, it is.
This book mostly picture for children.
I came to England when I was 7 years old. It was either mum cooking it or that's it. So I hope that this book, people will buy it if they want to learn how to cook Vietnamese or cook dishes that their mum cooked for them and their mum sadly won't be there all the time. You know, one day she won't be there.
Just buy this book. It reminds you of your mom's death. Just buy.
No, I'm just
What
saying,
you say?
No, this is book one. It's an authentic recipe.
You got second book for your father's dying. This woman, all about your
my
parent
God.
dying. This one? Your parent.
Can you stop touching my book like that? I'm really uncomfortable.
You don't like my caressing of your book?
No, I don't. The ink.
Uncle Nick always sexually harassed vegetable.
Oh gosh, is that a theme with Nick's? I mean, you guys saw that I reviewed one of Nick's videos. I didn't realize it's like a theme throughout all of his videos where he fondles his food. Ugh.
5 hours later.
Remove all the vegetable.
Be very gentle.
Okay,
Be careful.
5
The broth
hours.
smell very good
Right,
now.
can you see that?
See what?
The steam,
Yeah,
the drama,
it's just steam. You never
Just
see
smell
steam
it.
before?
the aromatics. Everything's coming through. So that's what you've been spending all your time for.
I smell all the MSG in here. You know what MSG stand for? Make shit good.
Nice. The aromatics, or rather the daikon and the onion, came out 5 hours later. I don't know if they removed the spices yet. It looks like the protein still remains in there, so I'm guessing that they cook it for another 3 hours.
It's beautiful. Can you see it's gold?
It's
Oh.
brown.
Yeah, the protein's still
Where
in
got
there.
gold?
It's gold. Look.
Someone
the fat.
colourblind?
The natural fat.
Niece and nephew, you tell me if this brown or gold?
No, it's gold.
Okay,
It's
okay.
gold if you do it right. Gold. And it's clear.
It look very good. It look
Yeah.
very good. But the proof is in the taste.
So much MSG.
Good. Sweet and salty and meaty.
It's all because of your MSG.
Yeah. And also a little bit because of your work.
Okay, 3 more hours. All right, so they removed the onion. I guess they don't want the onion to stay there too long and to completely like fall apart and break down and then give you a cloudy product. Oh,
The rest of the pho come together super fast. Cook noodle for just 2 seconds. This sound remind me of something. You know this sound?
Your mind is so clean.
And then cook bean sprout.
okay.
Now
cooked
plate
bean
everything
sprout.
together.
So 2 seconds for me isn't quite long enough. Maybe more like 10, no more than that, especially if your water's at a rolling boil. Also, I typically see the bean sprout not get blanched or cooked. It just goes in raw. It usually comes on the side on a plate, and then you put it into your bowl by yourself for however much quantity you want. But it's the broth, that hot broth, that is what's going to cook it. Nice brisket, the shank, the marrow, whole short rib, getting excited here. Okay, interesting. I don't know if it's for garnishing purpose. I'm guessing it's just for garnishing purposes. But the whole scallion there, and for me, that steak is still cut a little bit too thick, in my opinion. I would have rather seen this get done on a slicer. But for you guys out there who may have experienced more pho than I have, let me know. Is that a little too thick in your opinion? I do.
And we cook the beef with our beautiful broth.
And notice the bowl The bowl with the tall walls, again, that will insulate the heat versus what you saw in the Rachel Ray video or the British Pho video where they used a very shallow bowl with a big mouth or opening, and that type of bowl will dissipate heat very quickly.
Sorry, Uncle Roger spilled a bit. I fucked up. Hiya. Niece and nephew, if you want to eat this, I know Auntie Thuy rest.
Look at that. So there's hoisin sauce there, some sriracha, some Thai bird chilies, lime, scallion, raw red onion. Looks like some chopped chilies on that plate. And then in that bowl appears to be some Thai basil. Yeah, that is an outstanding bowl of pho right there.
Not open yet, but until it fully open, you can get Auntie Thuy pho online on dishpatch.co.uk, and for all my niece and nephew, we get 20% off by using code Uncle Roger, LVK.
Nice.
All link in description. Go click link now. Just so you know, Uncle Roger don't get any commission from this. I just helping out good friend who make good food. The meat cooked perfectly, still a bit pink.
I think you should hold the whole bowl. I knew he'd do it.
It's a lot of MSG in that freaking broth, dude. I really would love to hear from Uncle Roger himself, like, you know, how thirsty was he afterwards. Congrats, Uncle Roger, on the 6 million. If I'm going to grade this pho out of 10, I'm gonna give this a solid 8.5. Good shit, man. Auntie Thuy seems lovely. Huge hat. My hat goes off to you of how absolutely gorgeous your kitchen is. For me, that gets a 10 out of 10. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And with that said, I am Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.